Hey, what's going on, fellow flippers? This is John at Flip Your Dollar, and I got ripped off for over $400 on eBay. Let me tell you what happened.
Grab that cash with both hands and make a stash.
Hey guys, so thanks for watching. Want to tell you about let me get a little bit more comfortable here. You're gonna learn how I actually first started in eBay and how I got ripped off 2 times for over $200 each. Kind of just sharing my story to put out there. I remember way back in the day I started on eBay, bought a couple things here and there, didn't think nothing much about it. And so about 16 years ago, my grandfather passed away. And my grandfather meant a lot to me. And up until that time, I felt immortal. I did a lot of crazy things, and I was never injured, never broke a bone, served in the military, I felt immortal. As soon as he passed away, that's when I started questioning my mortality and, really worried about my health and stuff like that, and fell into a great depression over his passing. I quit my job, but I still had to eat and I still had bills to pay. So I started going online and looking up just weird keywords, and I found a website called cheapjunk.com. Don't go there now, they're out of business now, but they were selling swords and knives and stuff like that, and their prices were crazy low. And so I made an initial order, and I got their product, and the product was great, man. It was real good quality and a really good price. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give this a shot. So I ordered a bunch of product, and I started selling at gun shows, and I found eBay that I can sell stuff on there. So I put up items on there. And one of the items at the time was a Lord of the Rings sword, and this is when Lord of the Rings was pretty hot and stuff like that. And I put it up for $200, and it sold. And I was like, okay. So I did some more research, and come to find out, they were selling like hotcakes. So that's what I did. I started getting a bunch of Lord of the Rings swords and stuff like that, and selling it. And at that time I was making more money than what I did at my job before I quit. And I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna do this. So that's what I did. I started selling Lord of the Rings swords. Life was going pretty well, I was still in my deep depression, didn't really feel like doing anything. Then I get a customer requesting a refund, saying that it was a fake sword, not what I described. And like I said, the sword went for $200, and I was only paying like $20 for these things. And so I was like, okay, well, I can beat this easy. I sent a receipt into eBay showing that it was, I purchased it. It was genuine, the whole 9 yards. And I told them to go ahead and return it, and I'd refund them because, whatever. So long story short, a little time goes by, and back then eBay, their return policy was horrific. Not like it's any better now. I mean, it's a little bit better, but you're still going to get messed up, and that will go into my second story. So next thing I know, they pull out $200, and I never got the sword back. I was like, okay. So I tried to do some questioning and stuff like that, and I was stubborn, very, very stubborn. I was mad that eBay took my $200. The guy never even sent my sword back, nothing, and just gave him $200. And basically, I don't know how or why they filed for him. I mean, he never sent nothing back, took the $200 away, and I was so mad, so angry that I quit eBay. And I went back and got a job and started working again. And I was just that mad. I was like, I'm not going to support this company that just, stole my money and stuff like that, and I got rid of it. Well, times have changed, and there's a thing called cost of doing business, and that business model flows into everything. McDonald's, Target, selling on eBay. And there's a cost of doing business, and you are going to get taken advantage of, and you're going to lose a couple of fraud accounts here and there. And to be honest with you, don't do what I did. Don't do that stubbornness and just quit, because it is just a cost of doing business, and you are going to get hit once in a while. I was pretty dumb. I probably could have been making a lot more than what I was doing. I just focused on that one niche, and a niche like that's not going to last long. Once the popularity and stuff like that died down, those swords wouldn't have sold that much or whatever. So if I would have branched out and stuff like that, I probably could have been doing that for a living the whole time. And I was making more. I was making about $800 back then a week. And I was making more selling these swords and knives and stuff on eBay. So here we are, fast forward later. I haven't been on eBay for a long time. I run an auto repair shop, if you guys have been watching my videos, and a buddy of mine, he had a specialty tool. He's like, hey John, I mean, I was still selling stuff here and there, not on eBay really, except for like once in a great while. And my buddy was like, hey dude, I got this specialty tool. It doesn't really go to a whole lot of cars. In fact, it only goes to one car, and it does one job. And I bought it, and the customer backed out on me and stuff like that. And so I researched it, and this thing, it sold brand new for like $350, and this thing was brand new. So I told him, all right, well, I'll put in the footwork, but I want half. And he was like, yeah, dude, if I get, any money out of it, I'll be happy. So I was like, okay. So I throw it up on eBay, and sure enough, it sold for $200. And this one was a really weird one. So I about like 3 months go by, and I get an email from the guy saying, hey, where's my product? And I'm like, what are you talking about? It's been 3 months. So I go and I check the tracking number. And I'm like, you're provided with the tracking number. You can check this out. The tracking number, it says delivered, And another month goes by. He writes again, hey, where's my product? And I'm like, dude, I don't know what you're talking about. You got the product, so whatever. And another 2 weeks go by. A long time is just going in between, any kind of conversation. So he opens up a return on eBay. So I'm like, all right. So I call eBay. I'm like, what's going on? And they're like, okay, well, he opened it up and stuff like that. We already checked it out. We checked the tracking number. It shows delivered and stuff like that. We're just going through the formalities of everything. And I'm like, all right, fine. And they're like, okay, well, have a good day. So another month goes by, and sure enough, he opened up another claim. I didn't know you can open up multiple claims at that point in time. But yeah, he did. So I called eBay, and same thing. They're like, hey, we have the tracking number and stuff like that. Can you, provide us a little bit of proof and stuff like that? So you when you print out your printing label, and it gives you a little information on where you sent it and stuff. So I'm like, all right. So I sent it to him, whatever, and I'm like, man, I use PayPal, on the checkout to send it to him. All you guys got to do is just go and look in your own little thing, and you'll see the tracking number, the whole 9 yards. So they file in my favor again. So, still not thinking nothing about it. Another month goes by, and I get another phone call. And I'm all like, yo, this is getting ridiculous, man. You guys already filed in my favor 2 times. What is going on? Why is this even happening? And they're like, okay, well, the good news is he can't open up any further cases on us, because 3 times, then they can't try to do anything anymore. And I'm like, all right, fine. So let me know your findings. And they said it's going to be in your favor, blah 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 blah. I'm like, cool. So more time goes by, and wouldn't you know it, $200 gets deducted out of my PayPal. I'm like, okay. So I call PayPal, and PayPal says, oh yeah, the customer said he never got it, and that he doesn't live at that address. And I'm like, no, that's the email not the email, the address that he provided to send. I'm like, you guys can check it out. And they're like, well, can you send that piece of paper? I already sent it to eBay. eBay said the case was closed, so I threw it away. I don't have it. I'm all like, I use PayPal checkout. I'm all like, look at the tracking number, the whole 9 yards. And they're like, yeah, well, it does show that it's, sent there and everything. But he's claiming that he doesn't live in that address. And I'm like, well, that's not my fault. I don't know what to tell you. So lo and behold, PayPal is the one who gave him his money back, and there was nothing I could do about it. And at that time, I'd already given my buddy, he was cutting the money and everything like that. And I'm not going to go to him and be like, hey, bro, give me the money back, because that's just not how things are done. But like I said, I wasn't really selling on there on that platform, so I was pretty soured by that whole situation and stuff like that. So come to find out that they can go to eBay and fight it, and these scam artists, they can take you there, and then if that doesn't work, they can go to PayPal and fight it, and so forth and so on. So if they use a credit card to pay through PayPal, they can even go back to their credit card company and try to get their money back. So you do have to be careful. However, the lesson that I would say to take away from that is that there is a cost of doing business, and that you will be, you're going to get took here and there. And luckily it's not that often. So you do have to prepare for those hits. Don't do like I did. It's a cost of doing business. It's in every business model there is out there. Like, trust me, I know. I've ran a lot of companies. But those were a couple of, the only 2 scenarios that's ever happened to me that I thought really sucked. And I just felt like I wanted to share my story. I want to say thank you guys. My subscriber number's growing. I get you guys write to me and say a lot of great things, so I'm very happy about that. Thank you very much. If you guys want to help out a YouTuber, the best ways you can do that is by hitting that like button and subscribing. And leaving comments. Leaving comments really does help us quite a bit too, because it does something with the algorithm or whatever. And if you guys notice, I do try to respond to like everybody that leaves a comment or has a question. So if you have any questions or comments or any bad experiences that you had, drop them in there. I'd love to hear about them, because it helps us all grow and learn from the whole experience. So guys, thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.